Hi everybody, I'm Molly Schlenkerman with Robert and Molly Bees. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is going to be a channel where I post videos about how I've painted furniture and refinished furniture and the techniques I've used and whatnot. Robert is my husband. We've been married for 10 years. He is every bit of much about part of this process. He helps me with repairs, ideas. He's my other half, and I'm really grateful for him. We're both ICU nurses, but I do this part-time, and I've had some requests for some video tutorials, so here we go. This is a vanity that I got from Goodwill. It was in really rough shape. It had a bunch of cigarette burns on the top. I sanded it down, cleaned it up. Here I'm painting it with the first layer of DIY paint. DIY paint is amazing paint. It's got 9 ingredients. It's all natural. It cleans up really easily. It works a little differently than chalk paint, in that it is very reactive to water, and so it just acts differently. You kind of have to use it to know what I'm talking about. Here I am using Liquid Sunshine, Cowgirl Coral, and Kissing Booth, and eventually I'll be putting Blue Iris on the top part. There it is. And I'm putting the first layer of paint on. I end up doing 2 coats of this to build up the base layers, and my intention is to put a layer of 2 different colors on top of that, and then wet distress it back, which you'll see here in a few minutes. Now what you're going to see is that I used bohemian blue and cherry picked, and all of that ended up, everything got redone. What I'm doing right here, I didn't like the way the blue and the pink kind of cut the vanity right in half, so I ended up, after I wasn't happy with the cherry picked and the bohemian blue, I ended up repainting it all again, which is fine because it's just paint, and that's what you can do if you're not happy. So here's the cherry picked going on. It looked more brown to me, and I really wanted something kind of plum. I do have the bohemian blue on top already. This is me with a wet washcloth rubbing it back. As you can see, the blue iris is starting to come through, and here in a minute you'll see me rub back the cherry picked and see the kissing booth coming through. Now, I saw this technique with Dixie Belle paint, and Dixie Belle paint is less water reactive, so this did not really work well with DIY paint. It does if you want the natural wood to show through, but I really didn't. So when I did repaint the whole thing, I ended up sanding back the second layer of paint, and I still ended up having more wood coming through than I really wanted, but less. I had more control over how much paint I was wiping off. So that is the long story short of that. But in any case, here I am. I've got all the layers of paint on, and I started to wax the paint. So DIY paint changes colors like 5 times. It's really deep when you paint it on. It turns pale when it dries. Then it gets really deep and dark when you put the wax on. Here I'm using DIY's clear wax paint, clear wax, excuse me. And then once that dries, it lightens up quite a bit. And then you buff it and it brightens up. It's really weird, but it's awesome. And it almost like does all of the creative work for you. It's one of the reasons I really like DIY paint. Here I am taking my brush that I got on Amazon for like 10 bucks. They have more expensive buff brushes, but this one works fine. And buffing out all of the wax that I put on there, and it kind of gives it a little bit of a shine, and it really changes the composition of the paint. You do have to let it dry for 24 hours after. The colors I ended up putting on here were bohemian blue on the top, and then a mix of blue iris and fire starter for the purple. Here I have put black dark wax on my hardware. I spray painted it copper, and then I did dark wax, and then right here I am putting on amber gilding wax, or copper gilding wax from Dixie Belle, just to create some definition. This is me shading it out with some dark wax. And this is the finished product. I put some stencils on the drawers for a little added detail. I painted the inside of the vanity with mineral paint. And this is how it turned out. If you like this video, please like and share. Please subscribe to my channel. I'll be posting more videos of some of the transformations that I've done on some furniture. Let me know what you think. Thanks.